Hey, friends and family from Ronny's Farm to Table. It's December 29th. We have about 18 degrees, feeling a little bit colder, and standing on top here of the roof, I sure do could feel it. I'm back here because I only got 50% done yesterday. You see, I was shoveling everything down here, and I tried to do the snow joe, the snow rake thing, but there's several layers on top here. One is like a soft layer, then there's a really wet hard layer, then there's a soft layer on top. And every time I try to rake it up, the hard layer pushes my snow rake on top of everything, so it's not working well. So I have to shovel all of this off by hand. What you see here, back there, that's about knee high, and it's a lot of weight on top of this roof here. So with the storm coming in next week, we gotta be prepared. And once we got this all shoveled off, I will not be recording that. We're gonna go back in the barn and build some more shelves. We will not be mixing the substrate mix with the grain spawn because the grain spawn was so long in transit that we have to check if they're still viable. My supplier told me just let it sit for a couple days at room temperature and see if they become fuzzy again. And once they do, then you can use them again. If not, I can claim a replacement. So already it's getting mighty cold on my left hand holding the phone, so let's get to it. Click. 3 hours later, I was still on top of the roof here. I just cannot finish. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this side for today and be done. And then I came over here. It's like, well, I gotta keep going, and now I'm gonna finish the whole roof. So I got this out of the way for a couple months. You see, actually, when you shovel snow, really wet, heavy snow, I heard on the radio, it equals 10 minutes of shoveling wet snow equals to lifting one small car. And I've been lifting a dozen of cars by now. So, but either way, it's a good thing to do. We have an unusual high amount of snow for December. We have about 40 inches. And usually we see that total amount in February, March, and then usually it melts off pretty quickly. So we still have a couple of months to go, and I don't want to have 60, 80 inches on top of this flat roof here. Well, it's not all flat, but the angle is not quite so it just slides easily off. That's why I'm on top. You have to take care of it. So let me go finish that, and then I will see you guys over in the barn. All right, see you then. So the job is done. Boy, I'm happy that I don't have to do that for a while again. Bone breaking, hard job. Oh, that snow was so wet. But look at this here. You see this line? It's always hard to see snow on the camera, but it's as high almost as my windows, which I kind of find it's pretty neat. It's a windshield so that the wind doesn't go underneath my skirting of the house. So pretty happy about it. Not so much up front here. You can see the skirting. But when you would look over there, it's hiding almost the skirting up to the window. There's a little bit of a dip here, but the wave up here, the top of the mount, is almost up to the windows. Pretty cool. That's all the snow that came off the roof. Alrighty, let me take a breather, get some juice. I've been a little bit dehydrated up there for 3 hours, but once I'm hydrated, I'm good again. I see you over in the barn. Alright. We are in the Berliner room, and it's kind of a sad deal, but we have to go in here and take out all the mushrooms that are dried out. I will use them for myself, but I cannot sell them to my customers. So I'm probably going to freeze dry some for me and make a nice stew out of them for myself. It's a loss, but we will get better at things, right? So before we can go in the growing tent, however, we need our sterile lap outfit. Hold on a second. So folks, after being in there for a while, I saw that the newest bags which are in there are from December 1st. And we're almost at the end of December. And there's a lot of really old bags in there, which I was just hoping they'd do a second and third flush, and they're just not doing anything. So here's the deal. I'm gonna go in there now. I don't even have to wear protection gear because I'm gonna clean everything out. Everything is going out. It's fire sale basically. So let's do that quick. Everything goes out, then I have to clean it completely. It was not my plan to have a cleaning day today, but I think it's the right thing to do before I start putting some newer batches in there. I just start and clean from scratch, ground zero. That would be a nice thing. Let me show you here on the table what happened when they got to dry. So here you can kind of see the nice purple oysters. They have this beautiful pinkish color, and when they get to dry, they brown out. They're still structurally fine, taste-wise they're fine too. It's just they're not as pretty. And when I give it to my customers, I want them to have this really cool experience having a gourmet mushroom, which is just looks delicious and just has the full package, aroma, everything in it. When they're this brown, they're not very pretty, not to me. And they're also kind of wrinkled up on the other ones that you kind of see here. But they're still soft. They're not dry, like crispy dry. So let's get the tent cleaned out, see what else we can harvest and get rid of all the bags. And start from ground zero. That's the plan. Let's make it happen. So folks, next part. So we got everything out of the growing tent, and you see a couple things here. I have a bleach solution in my hand, which means we are going to be bleach cleaning the tent. I'm going to be using it differently this time. I'm going to be filling the water tank, and the humidifier is going to be blasting a whole bunch of bleach vapor into the tent. And you see over there on the right that I have disconnected the exhaust fan that was for the carbon dioxide, and I plugged it into basically my fresh air supply system. That's the heat exchange system, so it's gonna go right out, hopefully. A couple months ago I tried to do it too with the bleach tank, a humidifier, and it was a lot of bleach vapor in the room here, which made me dizzy, and then I had to completely recycle the whole air in here. So this way it's a closed loop. There's no danger of going out here or damaging the dark tent. So let's put the bleach in. Let's get it cleaned. What you see here are all the bags from the growing tent. This trade of learning how to grow mushrooms is not the easiest. There's a lot to know about it. There's a lot that can go wrong, and a lot to learn. So I have not done it before. I have no experience. But here's what I figured out. I talked to somebody who knows a thing or two about it, and the thing is, I had too many too close in the growing tent. That's why I'm trying to start a second growing tent pretty soon as possible. That was one thing, and he said you might even run into that issue. And the second thing was I had fans inside the grow tent, which completely moved the air in a weird way in there that I didn't anticipate it would do it. So, too many bags, weird air movement was leading to dried out mushrooms, which is okay. We are learning. How I said, it's a trade I never did before, but here we are. So, folks, tomorrow will be a different day. I'm going to let bleach clean the tent for a little bit longer, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.